Hey students, in this video I'm going to go over how to write equations of parabolas, and you will be given enough information to write that equation. Your steps are to first identify the vertex and determine the p-value based on the information given. This will help you write the equation like vertex form, like this. But sometimes the parabolas are not opening up or down, they're opening side to side. So that creates a similar equation that looks like a vertical parabola, but it's horizontal. And there's a typo here. It should be x equals a parentheses y. There should be a y right here. And then the h and k are also opposite of the previous equation. So use these two templates to help you write the equations, but for sure you need the h and k, which is from the vertex, and then you need the a values. So here the a value was not given. The a value needs to be calculated with the p-value that you have. So you're going to use the formula absolute value of a equals 1 over 4p, which means that it's like this one from yesterday, but inverse, like opposite of it. So a equals 1 over 4p. You're going to use the direction of the opening to also determine whether the VA should be positive or negative. So if it's up, opening up, it's a positive A. If it's down, it's a negative A. If it's opening to the right side, it's a positive A. If it's opening to the left side, it's a negative A. So just picture like the coordinate grid. Up, it's positive. To the right, it's positive. Down is negative, and to the left is negative. So positive, positive, negative, negative. All right, so here's some examples. We're gonna do this first one, and it's asking you to plug in the A, H, and K from the information shown. So the analysis you're gonna do is ask yourself, do I have the vertex? Do I have the directrix? Do I have the focus? Like those questions will help you. Do I have the p-value? Like all of these are things that you need to identify, but mainly you only need the vertex and the a value to write the equation. So the vertex is right here. We're going to write it, and it's 0, 2. The directrix is up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a horizontal line. That is when y equals 5. All right, so basically, with that, we don't need to find the focus because that's enough to find the p. P is the distance from the vertex to the directrix, which is 3 spaces. So this we found just by analyzing this. Once you have the p, you can calculate the a by doing a 1 over 4p, which means it's 1 over 4 times 3, which is 1 over 12. So your a value is 1 over 12. Now you have to determine whether that a value is positive or negative based on the opening of this parabola. So it's opening down, which means you will have a negative a value. So this should actually become a negative 1 over 12. That's the a value. All right, if we put it together, we do have it opening up or down. So that is a vertical parabola. We're going to follow this example, y equals ax minus h squared plus k, which is you're familiar with. So we're going to write y equals negative 112 x minus your h. So vertex, we have h and k. So 0 squared plus 2. So that right there is the vertex form. But of course, you can simplify it because of that 0, and it will look like negative 112 x squared plus 2. All right, so that's an example of how to write an equation based on that information given. Here's a couple more examples. This is based out of different information given. So here's this one where it's asking you the vertex is 1, -1. So 1 to the right, 1 down. That's the vertex. The focus is 1 to the right and -1/2. So that'll be your focus. And the fact that the vertex is under that, that means the parabola will open up. So it's going to be something like this. That means we have an A value that's positive. And then with this information, we can calculate the P, which is the distance from the vertex to the focus. So it went from -1 to -1/2. So 1/2 is the P value. So now we can use the formula A, or absolute value of A, equals 1 over 4P. So 1 over 4 times 1/2. So that just means 4 times half, which is 2, 1 over 2. So the absolute value of A is 1/2. And because the A is positive, we're going to say A is positive 1/2. So with that information, we're going to write the equation in its up and down vertical parabola. So that means it follows that example. Y equals 1/2 x minus your h, so 1 squared, and plus your k, your h, k, so minus 1. Okay, so this is the equation for this parabola. Next, we have a directrix given. X equals -2, so that's a vertical line at -2. So this is the directrix right here. Focus is at 0, 0. So because this is the directrix and this is the focus, you need to understand that the vertex is in between. So if you kind of follow the patty paper from yesterday, it's going to look something like this. The directrix, focus, vertex in between. Excuse me. Vertex would be -1, 0. P, excuse me. P is going to be 1. There's one space between the vertex to the directrix and one space from the vertex to the focus. And then we can find the A value. Excuse me. 1 over 4P, which is 1 over 4 times 1, which is 1/4. But it's opening sideways to the right. So you still have to ask yourself, is the A is positive or negative? So because it's opening to the right, your A is positive. So 1/4 is the A value. Now, because it's opening sideways, you're going to follow this one. You're going to write X equals your A value, which is 1/4. And just make this smaller. So 1/4 parentheses the Y minus your K, HK. So K is 0. Squared plus H. H is -1. So we clean that up. And that should look like X equals 1/4 Y squared minus 1. Or not even with parentheses, but you get it. It's one of those. Okay, last question. We're going to have the bell ring in a little bit, so just disregard it. All right, opens left, so that means your A is negative. The focus is -3, -1. And then the distance from the vertex to the focus is 1. So because it's opening left, that means that the vertex has to be here. It's opening left and the distance is 1. So that means the P is 1. Your vertex is -2, -1. That's your h and k. Your a value is 1 over 4p, which equals 1 over 4 times 1, which is 1/4. And we said the a will be negative because it's opening left. So a is actually -1/4. So now with those values, we're going to follow the formula here because it's a horizontal parabola. So x equals a value -1/4, y minus your k. Your k is -1, so +1 squared, plus your h, so plus -2, so -2. Okay, so that would be the equation for that. You can always graph these to verify on the calculator if they're correct.